Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good. How you doing?
Good, thank you. This is Heidi LaDuca, and I have my daughter, my daughter Hannah LaDuca here. Actually, my father-in-law John LaDuca. So we're all in the same room because we've got a few of these together. It looks like.
Okay. Yeah. It looks like you've got maybe 4 properties you're talking about. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So just quickly, just to swear you in for the record, everything you're going to tell us is the truth.
Yes.
Great.
That's accurate.
All right, so go ahead and why don't you already kind of stated your name, but why don't you just talk about the properties that you're going to be discussing with us and give us your information. Okay.
Would you like to talk about one at a time, or would you like me to give you all 4?
Well, we can do, why don't we do one at a time?
Okay.
So we'll start with maybe 47 Angels Path.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me just get that in and out. Okay. I have that here. Yeah. Yeah. So 47 Angels Path, we are requesting that the assessment be reduced to $375. I realize it's at $327.5. You are expecting an increase up to $402, $300. But I believe that the comps that I pulled and provided justify an assessment at $375.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So we've got the package of information that you provided relative to that. So we can take a look at that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. One other thing on 47 Angels Path. My husband and I own that property. We did try to sell the property about 5 years ago. Our asking price was $369, and it did not sell. So we ended up renting it instead. So I think that's something that can be factored in as well.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions on that one?
Nope. Ready for the next one.
Nope, I think we're good. So we can move on to, what's the next one? 36 Blue Ridge?
Yeah, 36 Blue Ridge Road. So this property, this is my daughter, Hannah. She is here with me. So again, this is a situation where I pulled some comparable properties. In addition to the comps that I provided, it appears from the tentative assessment role that tentative assessment is much higher than her neighbors who have the exact same property. So I'd like that to be factored in as well. And I did provide comparables. We're asking that the reduction be to 127 on property.
Okay.
All right. Very good. Anything particular about that property that you think we should know?
Yeah, just mainly that accessible properties in the neighborhood are being assessed at a lower rate, at a lower number than this particular property.
Okay.
Okay, and yes, thank you. Did you have anything you wanted to add here?
No, I think Sophia does. They're literally identical. They're in the same building.
Okay, yeah, and actually, adding that just adding into the fact that properties on Blue Ridge are identical, being assessed at low rate, they're actually in the same 4-unit building. So, and they're 100% identical. So this is a 4-unit property, in one of the townhomes. So that's what I add to the 36. Okay, and so the
Which one?
119 Angels Path? Is that what you're...
Eagles?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go with that one.
Yeah. Okay, so this is my residence. I did attach some comparable properties. I pretty much just like to rely on those for the adjusted value. Here. We are requesting property be assessed at $42,000 versus the $555 on a tentative assessment. And again, the comparables I provided, I think are comparable. So if you could just review those, that would be great.
Okay, we've got that information, so we can go through that.
Okay, great. And then I'm gonna, my father here, he is the owner of 40 Stablegate Drive, so I'm gonna let him speak with regard to that property.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Here we go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I have submitted my property as well, and would ask that in addition the 3 properties that the town is using to raise the assessment to the current value that it's at, that the town is assessing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there anything particular about that property that we should be taking under advisement?
Yes, there's 3 or 4 things. One is I have the smallest building lot subdivision. It's only about 1.7 acres. The other 3.3 acres is all wetland, which the town has an easement for, which basically means I own the property, but virtually no use of it. The other factor I'd like the town to consider is that I do not receive the benefits of most of the people on Stablegate Drive, or at least half the people who have the road plowed. We pay for our own plowing, not only our driveway. And also, we don't have maintenance of the road. We have to pay for our own maintenance of the road as well. The other factor is that although I have 5 acres, it actually is about 1.7 acres of a building lot. And again, the assessment, currently I'm assessed probably just below the mid-range of the properties on the house, most of which exceed the square footage by at least 700-800 square feet or 1,000 square feet or more. In addition, I have no pool or tennis court as some of the other properties do. Those are some other factors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just real quick, sir. I'm just going through some of the information. It appears like a lot of sales you have are 2-story homes that you're comparing to your ranch home.
Yes, but still by footage, and even if you go to ranch homes, there are 2 ranch homes. And I think 31, and this is this property that sold for $148,000 and was assessed at $456,000. So I am trying to figure out what happened in that house. Approximately 700 or 800 more square feet than my property. What you're using basis for assessment is acreage. The acreage net is approximately almost an acre, and it's all building, I guess, property. The same. So the property has been that I of the there, the one on 1661 Plain. I know the the one on State Road. And one of the questions I have, some properties, when you look at them, all they do is, so it makes it difficult to when all you're seeing is the tops of trees.
Okay.
All right, great. Well, we got all the information. Unless there's anything else you want to add to it, we'll go over everything and get back to you folks. The town will have something out to you in a few weeks.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. All right, well, welcome. And let me just quickly swear you in for the record. Just everything you're going to tell us today is going to be the truth. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, great. So we're talking about 35 Panorama Trail. Is that the right address?
Yep.
Okay. So we've got some of the information that was provided when you submitted the forms, but if you want to tell us about the property and give us some highlights of what you're thinking, please go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I'm getting a little bit of an echo. I don't know if you guys are hearing that.
I don't hear one, but not to say you're not getting one on your side.
Okay, I'll just continue. With the property, we purchased it about 2.5 years ago. There were some other properties that are on our street that are pretty comparable that sold for a lesser value. We escalated our purchase, and I have reason to just think that because of that, our house was assessed higher than some of those other more comparable properties on our street. So I'm just looking to get our property assessed at a more consistent level with those other properties. Is there any specific information that you guys are looking for?
How's the condition of your house as far as any modernization, kitchens, baths, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, in our house, we had some water damage from our bathrooms. They're back-to-back bathrooms, and created some water damage in our basement. We fixed up the bathrooms, and so those have been modernized since we moved in, but there is also some basement water damage that has not been taken care of.
Okay. How about how's the kitchen?
Kitchen's the same as it was. It's got a new coat of paint, but that's it.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think we have all the information we need. We can go through that information you provided us, and we will make an assessment, get back to the town, and the town will get back to you in a few weeks.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks very much.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm not going to get all of it.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you doing today?
Good, yourself?
Doing good, thanks. All right, so before we get started, let me just quickly swear you in. Is everything you're about to tell us the truth, correct?
Yes, sir.
Great. So just go ahead and state your name and your property address, and then you can tell us a little bit about your property.
Christopher Galena, 107 Angels Path, Webster, New York, 14580.
All right. And so you're looking to have your assessment dropped from $418,000 down to $365,000.
Yes, sir. That would reflect the new letter that was sent to me, which adjusted it to $43,000 or something. If I'm correct.
Well, yeah,
I received an original assessment letter of $93,000, and then I received another letter, which was they agreed to chop that in half, if you will, to I think a $43,000 assessment or $47,000 assessment. I can't remember exactly.
He's done.
Are you talking about the amount of the increase?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Not the actual assessed value, but the amount of the increase you're talking about. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
And I'm good with that, yep.
Okay, so that letter then would have put your assessment at 418,000, I think is.
Yes.
Okay. And you think the market value of your property is 365,000?
The market value of my property. So you're saying my property value is 418,000 is what you're saying?
That's what the town has now.
The town has you listed as the market value being 418,000.
For some odd reason, I'm incredibly confused right now, and I sound stupid when I'm talking right now, but...
That's okay.
Are you essentially cut my assessment in half from the 93 down to the 43 or 44, whatever it was? That's what I was good with. I wasn't okay with a $93,000 increase in assessment. I agreed with that being in half, and I understood that.
All we have, sir, we just have the total. Is it that we have your current total assessment at $418,000? Is that correct?
Well, do we know what the prior assessment was?
It's on the screen.
I can't read that.
466.9.
Well, that was. What was it before that?
I don't know. I've been assessed a couple times in the last few years because I installed a pool.
374,200. All right, so let's see if that math works. 374,200. Yeah, okay, so that's the 93,000 you're talking about. Okay, so your prior assessment was 374,000, and it went up to 466,000, which is the $93,000 you're referencing.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you agreed that if it went up 46,000, which would put you at the 418,000. Okay.
Yes, sir. I definitely agree with that. And I don't envy you guys in your position right now. I'm sorry you guys are going through this, believe me.
No, it's okay. I just want to make sure we're all talking about the same thing.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So you are comfortable then with the 418,000? Is that what you're saying? Or the increase
yes, I'm
of?
comfortable with that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We're all set?
All right,
Great.
then I
That's
think-
easy.
Get it?
Yep. Then I think we're probably all on the same page then.
Yep.
All right.
Very good.
Well, I think we're good then, and we will. That'll probably the letter will come out to you in a few weeks with that conclusion.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep. Yes, sir. Gentlemen, have a good day.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
We're doing good, thank you. All right. So
Good.
before.
And who are we speaking with? I know they said Kevin.
Yep, that is
Kevin.
Kevin Kane. I'm one of the 3 board members on the Board of Assessment Review.
And who else do you have with you today?
My name is Stephen Ferrara. How are you?
Good.
And
Ferrara.
I'm Craig Shubmel.
Shupmel?
Shub.
Okay. And my husband and I are both here.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So just before we get started, let me just quickly swear you in. Do you promise to tell the truth with the information you're going to provide us today?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so why don't you tell us a little bit about your property? It looks like you're asking the town to reassess the property from $334,000 down to $250,000?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the property and why you think $250,000 is the market value of your home today?
Did you get the comparable sales analysis that I brought in?
Yes.
Yes, we did. Yep, we have that.
Okay, so, based on the comparable sales analysis, I mean, that 250 is much more in line with 334. You're asking to reassess our home at 52% more than what it was. And we also supplied you with the appraisal report that we received in November of 2018 for 270.
Okay, that was 2018?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, I see that there. Yep. All right, is there anything else?
The comparables that we have show that the houses have been sold, and the one that's 262 is more square footage than ours. So the 250 falls in line with those sale prices. And the economy right now is a housing bubble, so there's a lack of houses available, and people are willing to pay way over, normal sales price to get a home. So we honestly feel like we're just caught in this bubble, and if you did this 2 years later, the market would correct itself, and our house would not be near worth what you're saying. It's not near worth what you have there anyway, but I just wanted to point that out.
Okay.
Okay, great. Anything you want to tell us about the property itself, the condition of the insides, the kitchens, the bathrooms, that kind of stuff?
They're all in good condition.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Nope.
We can look over the sales.
Yep. All right. We'll take a look at all the information, and we will get back to the town, and the town will get back to you in a few weeks with a letter.
Okay, and what questions do you have at this particular time?
I don't have any.
I don't think we have anything else.
No questions.
Just have to look over the data.
Is there something that we're missing? Because I don't want to get a call in 3 weeks and not understand why. Can you tell us what your analysis entails? Like, what is part of the analysis?
We're going to go over all your information. We're going to go over all your sales data. The town also has sales that they have, so we review everything, and then we get a number to the town, and the town gets that out to you within a few weeks.
Okay, but as we've said too, the numbers that the town will see, recent sales, it's exorbitant, just like it is everywhere else around this town and this city and across the U.S.
Right. We consider that, but we do have to rely on comparable sales data. That's what we're instructed to do.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're looking at the comparables that we sent, those houses, like the one that was 262, is just a little over a year ago. You know what I'm saying?
And that's more in line
with... That's a
with...
sale. I mean, right now, like I said, it's a bubble.
Right.
There's a house down the street that, I don't know. So I mean, 1 year later, our house can't, ours is not as big as that, but our house can't go to 334 when this one sold just a little over April 29 a year ago, and it's only 262.
Yep. To help your cause a little bit, we do value the properties as of July last year, July 21. So that's almost a year ago. So that's when we're supposed to value them as of.
So the
that's
April,
basically when that house sold.
Right. So that is showing you what it should have been.
That house has about another 100 square feet than we do, and it's sold for 262.
Yep. Very good. We will consider all of that definitely in our analysis.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for your time.
No problem. All right, before we get started, let me just quickly swear you in. Do you promise you're going to, all the information you're going to give us today is truthful?
I do.
Great. So go ahead and if you couldn't just state your name and the address of the property we're going to be talking about.
Dolores Langzenkamp, 56 Seton Court, 14526.
All right, great. And so it looks like the town has you assessed at about $532,000, and you're looking to have that reduced to $434,000. Is that correct?
Yes, a little bit above that. Yes, that's right.
Okay. And we do have the information that you sent in, but this is your opportunity to kind of tell us your story about, why you think that $434,000 value is what your house is worth.
Thank you. Yeah, and I did try to present as much data as I could in the written material. And so the 3 sections were comparing my property to the other houses in the neighborhood, and also the history of the values in the neighborhood since my home was built in 2005, and then the condition of this property, and then also in addition to that, 3 comps from the neighborhood. And so just summarizing all of the information that I have there, from the very beginning, our house, because we commissioned it, we were able to choose and not choose what upgrades that we would include. And so to build as modestly and as economically as we could, we didn't include many of the features and the upgrades that other properties in our neighborhood, a lot of them were spec homes when they were built, have. And of course, that's difficult to know just driving by the property. So I'm glad for this opportunity to be able to give you some more information. And so the information you have covers that point in great detail in terms of what our property doesn't have compared to the other properties in the neighborhood. Subsequent, and also when we built in 2005, it was a low interest, low mortgage interest time, and then a high buy cost time. Not quite as crazy as it is right now, but it was a high period in terms of sales, building costs, and a low interest rate period. So subsequent to that, of course, there was an economic downturn. And then when you look at the properties throughout our neighborhood, some of the ones that sold during that time, 2 across the street from us, as a matter of fact, lost significant amount of money, even though they had done improvements to the property. So one house across the street lost $60,000. One house across the street lost $70,000. And then I learned a lot in this process, not being a real estate professional or, anything near that industry. It never occurred to me that the value of a house could drop without your selling it. So when I looked at all the other assessments in our neighborhood, you could see that when values drop due to sales, and again, despite significant improvements to the properties, and then some values dropped, and they're still the original owners there. Well, ours didn't. I never right-sized our assessment, during that time period. So the trajectory of our home is, up and up and up. Whereas when you look at the other houses in the neighborhood, the superior properties in terms of features and upgrades during that time period were assessed significantly lower than our home was assessed. So, we never right-sized that assessment. And I'm bringing that up now because if our new assessment is based on our immediately previous assessment, then I don't see that as in line with the rest of the neighborhood. And then in that video presentation that the town gave to the public, it was pointed out the condition of the property is important. And so I've given some information regarding to that. Our home is 16 and a half years old now. We didn't do any refurbishing of anything in the middle of, all of those years, and so it's due for a lot of work. And as a matter of fact, yesterday we were able to get someone in to take a look at our deck, which needs significant work on our deck. And so there's some specific information in that information that I gave to you in terms of that. Then if you move along to the comp.
Real quick, I apologize. You got about another 2 minutes, just so you know. So, but go ahead.
Okay, great. So when you look at the comp, they present an even lower value than I suggested. When you, the material you have gives you, has all my mathematical rationale of how I arrived at the number I did. The comps range between 387, 720, and 426.5. So the comps are even lower than the number that I suggested. So that summarizes the information that I already gave you. Do you have any questions?
Don't think so. Any questions?
Got a lot of sales here to look at.
Yeah, no, we got a lot of information. You laid it out really nicely, so that's all very helpful to us. So
Thank you.
We will take all of that under advisement and make our decision. We'll get back to the town, and the town will get back to you in a few weeks with a letter.
Well, thank you very much for all of this entire process. I know it's been challenging for you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. All right, thanks so much. You have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
All right, bye-bye. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. All right, before we get started, let me just quickly swear you in. Do you promise that the information you're going to give us is truthful?
Yes.
Great. So we're talking about the property at 1468 Marchner Road?
Correct.
Okay. So the information that, we have the packet of information that you provided us with the comparable sales, and it looks like you'd like the assessment to move from $316,000 down to $240,000. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. I know we're kind of got really short windows here for each of our appointments, but if you wanted to just kind of give us a high-level review of your property and kind of how you got to that assessment of 240.
Okay. Well, I went online and I looked up some comparables for the house sizes. I did not find too much that had the amount of land that I have. But there was one that had a lot more land than I have for a lot less money that was built in 2006 with about the same square footage. So I feel that, according to the paperwork you sent me, 2021 was $188,500, and then you jump almost $128,000 in 1 year. And I think that's way excessive.
Okay.
So that's how I came up with about that figure. I understand it's going to go up, but to go up that much to me, is crazy.
Sure. Okay. All right. So what we'll do is we'll take the information that you provided, and we'll go through that and kind of make our judgment and get back to the town, and then the town will get back to you in probably a couple, 3 weeks.
Okay. I believe I did my homework on this. I went through and looked at comparables. I know my house is a little bit different because it's a log home, but it's got oil heat. There's no central air. It's pretty much a clear lot. I have a barn on it, but there's no concrete floor in it or nothing. It's just a dirt floor in the barn. And I just thought that going up $128,000 was very excessive. So that's why I'm trying to get it lower, because that's a huge jump.
Very good. We got you. Thank you very much for all your information, and the town will get back to you within a few weeks.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Try to merge her in. I don't want to mess up the call.
No.
Okay.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
All right, great. So let me just quickly swear you in before we get started here. So do you promise that everything you are about to tell us is the truth?
Yeah.
All right. So I guess for the record, go ahead and state your name and the property that we're going to be talking about.
My name is Mark Ochaved, spelled O-C-W-I-E-J-A. The property is 29 Hampstead Drive, Webster, New York.
Okay. And it looks like the town's got you assessed at $474,000, and you're looking to have that drop to $395,000?
That is correct.
Okay. All right, so we have, the information, the letter that you put together and sent in, and so this is really kind of your opportunity if you want to expand on that and tell us a little bit about the property so that we can make our assessment.
Well, go ahead, Tom.
Tyler's here. Tyler went through most of the information. We feel that the properties listed are comparable in aspects. The size is the same, square footage, they're close in proximity, and we see them that sold for much less. And then when you add the 6% per year from July 1st to from 2021, or the sale date to July 1st, 2021, the number is much less than the 474 that we're getting appraised at. So there's the numbers. Mark, if you want to talk about any other aspects of the property, but
Well, it was listed in the information, but the property, it doesn't have the upgraded kitchens. It doesn't have all those upgrades that typically the normal house would have. We do have the pond on the property, so that's an issue. I just don't see how it could possibly be at $474,000, especially based on the comps that Tyler just talked about that sold.
right, there was no, the kitchens, not the granite countertops, the cabinets that are original, the bathrooms weren't redone. I know that Mark's gone through and painted things, but these other upgraded houses, it would make sense if the whole kitchen was high-end and all that stuff, but it doesn't. And even if you look at the average of the list, it was 406 for all the ones that were within the price range year and size, or not price range, excuse me, size and year and proximity. It was at 406. Or 421, excuse me. There was one in there that was $729,000 somehow. And if you took that out, it was 406 on average. So
Okay.
it seems like 474 is far off from what this should be at.
Okay. Well, we will take all that information, into account, and we'll get back to the town, and the town will get back to you in a few weeks.
Okay, so will we get a letter? Will we get an email? How does it work?
I believe it comes in the form of a letter.
Letter, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Ty, do you have anything?
What's after the letter? Is it either yes, we go to the number you're asking for, or no, we don't, or how does it work?
Well, the results could be anywhere from, no change to your number or anywhere in between.
And then what if we disagree from there?
I believe there's another step with small claims court.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Or I guess good afternoon.
This afternoon, yeah.
Sorry. Hello.
Yes.
All right, well, welcome. Before we get started, just want to quickly swear you in. Do you promise that everything you're going to tell us here today is the truth?
Yes.
Great. So if you just state your name and the property that we're going to be talking about, I think we might be talking about two different addresses. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
My name is Eileen Adamo, and our house is located on 16 Beechbrook Lane, Rochester 14625, and the empty lot behind us is 20 Beechbrook Lane, Rochester 14625.
Okay, great. So obviously you did send in some information, and we have that information in front of us. This is kind of your opportunity. I know we don't have a lot of time scheduled, but just kind of quickly go through kind of your highlights of what you want us to make sure we understand as we go through this information.
Well, I think my note is kind of self-explanatory, so I think those points are already made. But when I went through and looked at things again, the amount that our assessment was increased on our 16 Beachbrook Lane, where our house is, after we moved in, was just shy of 10%. That's a good size increase. And then 3.5 years later, by more than 20%. Like, taken together, that just seems so in excess of any anticipation of what you could turn around and, you know, expect to resell, barring the recent kind of little balloon effect we've had with housing recently. Then the lot in the backyard, by over 50% increase. You can see from the comparables, I'm not selling that land for that amount. You know, that would not sell that way. So with the greatest of respect, I think somehow, I don't know how those numbers were come up with, but I feel they are way in excess of the comparables and what would be realistic as far as like appreciation of land and home and all of that.
Okay.
Okay, great. Yep. So,
and I've never done this before, so I have no idea if I should be saying something else. I feel like you guys can read my notes, so I don't want to repeat it and bore you.
No, that's fine.
You have all my comps that I did. I hope I did this right, and I really very, very much appreciate if you would look at everything. And I know you have a million people who are probably doing this to you, and I apologize, and I thank you all for your time to take care of each of us.
No, I appreciate it. You know, again, we were not involved in the initial assessment, so I can't really speak to kind of how those numbers were derived, but we will take a look at everything, and we're doing our best to try to take into account everyone's situation and the condition of their home and the value of their property. So we will...
Yeah, the fact that we were reassessed twice in 3.5 years, that seems unfair right there. You know, so, and our property, although it's not dilapidated in any way, it's not a new house anymore, and we're having to do things like right now we're trying to fix the plumbing that's going wrong in the house. So it's by no means some pristine situation. It needs upkeep, and it's not in perfect condition. So thank you very, very much.
Sure. Yep. Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. And the town the town will get back to you in a few weeks with the conclusion.
Great, thank you. By email or by phone?
I think it's a letter, actually.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm fine. How are you doing?
I guess it is. I keep saying that. It's actually afternoon. So.
It just turned.
Yep. All right, great. So welcome. Before we get started, I just need to quickly swear you in. Do you promise everything you're going to tell us today is the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. So just state your name and the property address for us real quickly for the record.
My name is Sherry Lynn Sophia. My primary residence is 96 Poplar Drive, Rochester, New York, 14625.
All right, and so the town's got you assessed at $217,600, and you're looking for $152,900?
Yes, when the information was sent to us, I realized that I was going to do some research, and I went online and found that public records said that my house, as of May 2022, was assessed at $141,183. At the current time, there have been no renovations. There has been nothing to go to zoning for. The house needs siding. It needs a roof. It needs all the amenities that some of the other homes are offering at this time. Let's see, what else? The documentation that I've given the board shows that houses that are equivalent to mine, that would have three beds, 3 baths, 1,456 square feet. The one at Meadow Drive in Penfield with the zip code that's equivalent to mine is 169,900 and not 210,000.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so the process is that, we take this information that you provided and we look at, take that all under advisement as well as other information we have available to us, and we will make our decision to get back to the town, and then the town sends you out a letter in a couple, 3 weeks.
Okay, and if I can also state to you, there have been no renovations inside of the home. The floors need to be redone, and I know that you take into consideration the inside of the home. The kitchen needs to be updated. The master bathroom needs to be updated. It's all 1951, 54 when the house was built. There hasn't been anything that has been renovated as far as that's concerned.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely take that into account, so thank you for letting us know that. All right. Well, I think that'll do it. And like I said, we will have the town will actually get back to you in a few weeks with the results.
Okay. That sounds wonderful. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great day.
Take care. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How you doing today?
Hanging in there.
Good. All right. So just before we get started, let me just quickly swear you in. Do you promise everything you're going to tell us today is the truth?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yep.
So just for the record then, just get it started, just please state your name and the property address we're talking about.
Dennis J. Cirilla and Patricia G. Cirilla. She's right here.
Yep.
Yep.
3 Forest Grove Court,
Okay.
Penfield.
Yep.
14526.
Perfect.
-1148.
Thank you very much. All right, so it looks like the records we have in front of us say the town has you assessed at $303,900, and you're looking for that to be reduced down to $250,000. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right, so we have the information that you submitted, including the market analysis report, but this is sort of your opportunity to kind of give us a high-level discussion of what you want us to make sure we take into account when we're taking a look at everything.
Okay. We've been here since 1986, and I'm disabled, military, and we haven't put anything into the house other than a new roof. Now, our backyard backs up to the mud house, which is a mess, and the backyard and the fence is older than the Lord. But so, and the people that have sold the houses around us, or that have sold these last big, that the houses went quickly, especially here, they put between $50,000 and $80,000 into their home just to sell it. So it's hard for me to understand how my house value can go up $107,900 when I haven't put any. I mean, I can see it had to go up, but I have not put a nickel in except a new roof, which is already 10 or 12 years old. Furnace is 50 years old or 36 years old, however long. It's brand. I mean, it's the original. So everything in the house is original. And now the house next door is selling, and he's not selling it as quick as the other ones did. So that's really my beef as far as where we should be. Where I feel, I'm on a fixed income, so we're not, so that's really where our beef is coming from.
Okay. Well, that's great. So appreciate all that information. The process is that we take all this and we'll sit down and make our decisions, and then we'll get back to the town, and the town will get back out a letter to you in a couple of 3 weeks.
All right. That sounds fair enough.
Okay. Well, great. Well, thank you for your time, and you have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, thank you. So welcome. But before we get started, let me just quickly swear you in. Do you promise that everything you are about to tell us today is the truth?
Yes.
Great. So I know we have a limited time, so if we could just start with, just give us your name and the property address so that we have it on record.
Sure. Kelly Gammon, 7 Chatworth Circle North.
Okay, great. The records that we have indicate that the town's currently got you assessed at $273,800, and you're looking for that to be reduced to $232,000. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So we have in front of us the packet of information that you submitted, and this is really just your opportunity to give us some information that you want us to make sure that we understand and know, but as we look over everything and make our decision.
Okay.
So I'll give you the floor, and if you can just let us know, kind of the highlights of why you think $232,000 is the correct market value of your house.
Okay. Sure. So when I went through the comps, which I did provide, they are very similar in size and age of the home. We've been here in this house 17 years and haven't done any upgrades to it at all. We've done the bare minimum. I can even show you pictures from when we purchased the house that everything is the same as when we bought it.
Okay. All right. So, so the information, so the comparables that you've got here, you think are reasonable in terms of the upgrades and quality of your house versus their house, those houses?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions?
No questions.
All right. So what we'll do is we'll go through all this information, and we will make our decision, get back to the town, and the town will reach out to you via a letter in a couple, 3 weeks.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is George Madden speaking.
Hi, George. How are you today?
I'm fine. Thank you so much.
Great. All right, so before we get started, I know we have a limited amount of time, so let me just quickly swear you in. And so do you promise that everything you're about to tell us today is the truth?
I do.
Great. And just for the record, we're talking about 2146 Gloria Drive, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So based on the records that we have in front of us, the town currently has you assessed at $208,000, and you're looking to have that reduced to $166,000.
That's correct.
That's correct. Okay. All right, we do have the packet of information that you submitted, but this is sort of your opportunity to tell us the highlights of the property and what the things you want us to make sure we understand as we review this information and make our decision. So I'll give you the floor.
Okay, thank you very much, and I'll be brief because I know you people are very busy. Using the recommended data supplied by the town, including the Excel spreadsheet that was distributed online. My wife and I did as we were instructed, and that was to search for so-called comparables in our area. We took that very seriously, and we were able to find 3 properties, and you should have a copy of this in the package I delivered.
Yep, we do.
The three properties, which we felt were the only comparables that we could actually find, and they're not really comparable because they have features in those homes that we don't have. They're also noted on the spreadsheet. Principally, they all have double garages. They have sanitary sewer available where we have septic. and they all have central air, and we have no air of any kind, whether central or, installing a window. So based on our calculations and what we actually feel that the property is worth on an open market, we feel that the original was 218 or whatever, but it was 208, and we feel that that's high. And we came up with our number from the sale prices that were listed in the spreadsheet. And that's the end of that comment.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, great. So that's very helpful to us. So is there anything else you want to tell us? If there's not, then what we'll do is we'll take into account all this information and make our decision and get back to the town.
Okay, fine. The only comment I would like to make is this home was built by the owner around 1966. Or maybe he started in 1966. There's nothing in this home that is flown. It's hard to imagine that, but it's true. I would invite any of you to come over and I can show you. We've had a lot of difficulty with things because of that. That being said, it's the house is suitable, in my judgment, because of the smallness of the bedrooms. It's actually suitable for a young couple with one and maybe at a stretch 2 children. And that's something else that you may wish to take into consideration.
Okay.
All right, perfect.
All right, so that's all I have to say. If you have a question or two, I'll be happy to entertain it.
Anybody got anything?
No questions.
I think we're all good. So as I said, we'll get back to the town. The town will probably be back to you in a couple, 3 weeks.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a pleasant afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a great day.
Yep, you too now.
All right,
bye.
Bye-bye. Good afternoon.
Hello.
How are you today?
Thank you.
Good. All right, so welcome to the Board of Assessment Review. Let me just quickly swear you in. Is everything you're going to tell us today the truth?
Yes, it is.
All right, great. So if you could just state your name and your property address for us for the record.
Sure. Linda Kraus, 18 Royal View Drive, Rochester, New York, 14625.
Okay, great. So based on the records we have, the town currently has you assessed at $190,000, and you're looking for that to be reduced to $160,000?
Correct.
Okay, great. So we have all the information, the packet information you provided, which looks like it has a lot of pictures and information in there, so that's all great. This is kind of your opportunity to quickly tell us, kind of the main points that you want to make sure that we take into account as we go through everything.
And we only have 5 minutes, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, so here we go. So in the packet, I put together a mini table of contents. So I'd first like to take a look at the 2022 tentative assessment comparison.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first chart. And what you can see on here is we have properties on my street where my square footage was assessed higher for properties that are newer builds, that have higher square feet, that have more acreage. And I can tell you for that example number 1, that house sold in 2020. That house is on your preliminary roll for $182,600, and it does have, it's almost identical to mine, although it is 1 year newer, and the fireplace is functional. And that is in the selling records. So it is not fair for me to be assessed higher for similar properties on my street that are either larger in square footage, acreage, or a newer build. So that's the first point that I wanted to make.
Okay.
And then if we go to the comps, I put on the next chart, what I did was I pulled the most recent I could find, and again, number, where it says sale number 1, second column from my home. That house is the house we just talked about on the last chart. Sold for $166,000. It is on the assessment roll for $182,600, and I'm assessed higher than them. And then we can take a look at sale number 2 and sale number 3. Bigger houses in square feet, more acreage, all updated equipment, new shed, new garage doors to get ready to sell. And my house literally is still looking cosmetically like it's in 1962. So when I bought the property in 1994, I did not change the kitchen. I did not change anything in the bathrooms with the exception of a new tub. And these houses are much more cosmetically modern and updated, in addition, again, to being higher square foot and higher acreage. And you can see that my preliminary assessment of $190,000 does not fall in line with these sale prices.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. And then the last thing I wanted to hit on was 2 other quick things. The owner on the east side of me has had numerous code violations from the town of Penfield. It literally looks like Sanford and Son. We went to sell this property 2 years ago. 2 realtors came out and told me I could get $160,000 to $165,000 for this property because the condition of his house is bringing down mine. Okay, so we have to take that into consideration. The town of Penfield has coded him. They have gone out numerous times. He has still not fixed some of the things he was coded on. So for me to get full value for this house, short of me putting up an entire fence all on that side to block him out, it's not going to happen. I'm not getting $190,000 per 2 realtors, and I do have that information I can give you. But the other thing is on the chart where I put property issues, I have an ongoing issue with a very high radon. I did attach the official test. This has been ongoing since 1994. Remediation breaks down, and I do have to spend thousands. I'm sure you're familiar with the type of remediations you can do for radon. But the fact is, it hits you anywhere between $2,000 and $3,000 when it fails. And before I sell, that's the law. I got to remediate it. My fireplace, there's a receipt in this packet that shows that the 1996, I had it looked at, and it is deemed a hazard because there's a crack in the tile, so it can't be used unless I see something replaced, like a gas fireplace or a new tile. That's going to be between, on the cheap end, $2,300 to $4,000. Pictures of my driveway, original driveway in 94 when I bought the house. I actually it's older than 94. It all needs to be replaced. Have an ongoing basement mold. I have the official report in there when we had it tested. And so every couple of years I have to have that remediated professionally. My furnace and central air unit, central air does, they're both 28 years old, and I put a copy of that in as well. So when we go to sell, we have to replace, and I'm surprised they haven't died yet, knock on wood. But they're on the last leg, literally. Water heater's over 11 years old. We got to replace that. Kitchen is from 1962. The baths are from 1962. My windows are 15 years old. I did put pictures. We have to get those replaced because we have interpane condensation. All the appliances are 15 to 26 years old. 2 bedrooms do not receive heat or air conditioning. I've had Isaac out in Bethlehem. They have no idea why, so we installed new ductwork. We still don't get air, so have to disclose that at the time of sale, which will affect the price. Copper plumbing is rotting. Over the past, 2 years, we spent about $5,000. We're not done yet. We've used Scotty plumbing. We've used Taylor plumbing, BT plumbing. And just because of the age of the copper, we just have to keep replacing these pipes because they're failing. And then the last thing, humongous rodent and snake problem in the basement. It has had it since 1994. Have had multiple exterminators out. I do have receipts for all of that, thousands of dollars. Where we are with that is we have to have a professional excavator come dig around the perimeter of the foundation to get down there and patch whatever holes exist underneath the ground. So all of that is going to impact the sale of this house, and I have to disclose all of these issues when we go to sell. Otherwise, it wouldn't be right. Some are by law I have to disclose.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good.
So anyways, that's my story.
All right.
I'm hoping you guys can help out of fairness. I just, I get this is a process. I get you guys are doing this all day long, so I appreciate you taking the time with me. And I'm just hoping we can, make this fair and make it right, where we're looking at this equitably across the properties.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you definitely gave us a lot of information, so that's great. So it's very helpful for us. So we will definitely take this all into account, and our decision will get back to the town, and the town will reach back out to you in a couple, 3 weeks via a letter.
All righty. All right. Well, I thank you for your time.
All right. No, thank you. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
All right. You too. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.